outbacks to Sydney, starting at Australia Centre. A wall of dust comes forward to blanket the city centre of Sydney. Red, 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 red dust covered the whole city and made it all hazy and red, red, red. Sydneysiders have woken to a red haze, unlike anything they have ever seen before, either by its residents or weather experts, as the sun struggles to pierce through the thick blanket of dusk that is cloaking the city this morning. Callers flooded talkback shows and radios, others hit social networking sites, and scores of emails were received from news media centres as Sydney's residents expressed their amazement at this morning's conditions. A red, red, red sky covers everything. Sydney is cloaked in a haze of red, reducing visibility down to just a few meters during the dust storm. It is red, 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 as far as you can see, one caller described. The fiery haze was the result of the sun hitting the blanket of dust, the Bureau of Meteorology said. The reason for the dust is we have had some really strong winds in the inland areas of New South Wales and in South Australia for a sustained period yesterday, she said. That lifted a whole lot of dust off the ground because it's quite dry out there. Many of those areas are still drought affected. Dust storms are more common after a drought when the soil is extra dry and the plants have died. You can probably guess that the dust storms look orange because of the red desert soil. What caused the dust storms of 2009? According to the New South Wales Regional Director of the Bureau of Meteorology, the cause was an intense low pressure area which picked up a lot of dust from the very dry interior of the continent. The dust storm, also known as the Eastern Australian dust storm, was a dust storm that swept across Australia, states of New South Wales and Queensland from the 22nd to the 24th of September 2009. Gale force winds up to 100 kilometers swept the dust east, and on the 23rd of September 2009 the visibility dropped. And as you can see in these photos, one shows how it was before the red dust arrived and then later after the dust came in. This is the Opera House before the dust storm. And here is a man who is covering his nose from the dust. But the dust just swept through Sydney and central Canberra, from Wollongong to Sydney, as high as the state of Māori. It travelled 1,500 kilometres from the area of Lake Eries from the central of Australia, and it was 1,000 kilometres long and 2 kilometres high. Why is the dust red? It is because the dust was filled with iron. Iron minerals like timatites and ferrites will oxidize or rust, particularly in dry climates. The oxidation produces the distinctive red color of the soil and of the dust storms. And that is why the Sydney sky is orange. It is caused by a large sandstorm which has whipped up dry and windy conditions. Although it looks cool, the storm causes problems for people, health, and people living in the area have been told to be careful in the outdoors and to cover their faces. As you can see, the sun is fighting its way through, and here is the contrast of the new year and then the dust, which covers Sydney Harbour Bridge, the Opera House, and even the residential areas. People are amazed by how this dust storm has covered all these regions and caused this red and hazy glow to cover the Sydney Harbour Bridge. And even the birds are amazed by this. And there's the Luna Park and the Harbour Bridge. See the contrast before and after pictures of the dust storm. We are all still amazed by the way this dust has covered everything and even has come into the homes of people, a layer of dust. Layer of dust has layer over all of their properties. Even out in the close to the sea, there is dust. Dust, red dust is covering everything. In 24 hours, it's a different story as the dust starts to clear and Sydney becomes visible again.